Where is my soul tribe? Why are these people not in my life yet? And there's so much frustration about this. Whether it's, you see this community, you see this beautiful group of people, maybe it's just a relationship. Where is my soulmate? Same questions. There are same energetic gaps that may be present as to why that's not in your life yet. And you came here to experience that. You came here to be loved and seen and just be you, and for that to be so received and have that projection of that love within you, of that acceptance, of that freedom outside of you. You came here to have this soul family, to connect with them. So why isn't it there yet? I heard so many people, this was totally me 5 years ago, this frustration. I'm moving on and I've had a spiritual shift, or maybe I dove into personal development and my old circles don't reflect that. It doesn't reflect the new me, but there are no new people yet. And I haven't found those people. And it's so much easier to do this in a community. Why don't I have that support? And I want that support. And I need it. And today I'm going to ask you, there are 4 questions. There are 4 parts to this. Why is it that this is not in your life yet? So you get to answer those questions, see where is it that you're probably doing the thing, and move through that to call in those relationships, to call in your soul family, because we're not meant to do this alone. We're in this beautiful dance of community and also autonomy. So how do we engage with this? How do we feel that support, that love, and also our uniqueness and creating from that place? Let's dive right in. I am so very excited for this video because this was me. It was so frustrating to not have these people around me. And then starting to connect with some people from different sides of the world, and still this frustration. Why don't I have this whole family? Or it's so necessary. It would so help my growth. And not understanding that my frequency was completely off, right? And I thought I was doing all the right things, but I wasn't. And today I want to share with you the 4 questions that you can ask yourself. Are you actually welcoming it in? Or are you saying you are, but energetically you're really not, and you're pushing it away? All right, so let's dive right in. Let's begin by taking a breath, coming into the body, because I need you to not just hear and understand what I'm saying, I need you to feel it. All right, so the first question that I want to ask you is that what you're trying to create, that the people that you're trying to attract, the soul family, your tribe, is it from a place of I need it, or I'm inspired to have it? Is it I need it, or is it an I'm inspired to have it? Because what I see very often is that there's a need. And again, this was totally me in the past. Like, I need it. I need that support, and I don't have it. It's like, I deserve it. A lot of people, they're looking for that relationship, and they're like, I'm amazing and I don't have it, and I want to feel wanted and loved and seen and acknowledged, and I'm not getting it. And there's frustration. Well, guess what? From that frustration, which is the energy of lack, it's not accessible to you. And I'm sorry to say that, and it's really frustrating, I know. Because there's this, well, how do I not want what I really want and what is obviously not there? A lot of the communities that I see, and I started Thrive, which is a membership where we have weekly calls, and this membership is different than from what I saw around, because a lot of the memberships and a lot of the communities, then they kind of sell you this like, oh, it's this soul family, but people come into it in like, oh, I get to fall apart here, and here I get to be held here. But not so much, what am I giving to this place? And there's not so much engagement. There's more of, the person leading it engages. And the reason I created Thrive is not for the community. It's so that you have a space to choose you. So that you get to be the space to hold aspects of you that are like, oh, I need to fall apart now. And for you to learn how to do that. Because when you learn how to do that, you can be that space for others. And when you are in this frequency of, I don't need it, but I want it. And I already have that connection within me. I'm already there. I'm not getting anything. When you're in that place, it just pops up. It comes up because you are already that. And so there's this frustration like, I need those people. You may have had friends, and this is why when you're on a personal development or spiritual path, it's a very different dynamic. And we try to have the same dynamics that we did prior to this. Because when I realized this, I realized that a lot of my dynamics were based on gossip or on talking about things that aren't wrong, that are wrong, and that aren't working. And it wasn't, hey, let's get together, talk about our goals and what we're excited about, what we want to create. It was like, oh, this is what went wrong. And we wanted that validation, or we want someone to say they're there, or you're going to be okay. And it's really creating more lack. And it feels like connection, right? It's like, oh, they've got me. They're showing up for me when I'm down. But it's like, why are you always down though? And noticing that we're in that cycle. Like the more I talk about things that are wrong, the more I'm in that energy. And that's exactly what I keep creating more of. I don't want to do that. And shifting, what is it that you're looking for? This is not one of the 4 points, but this is really important. What dynamic do you want? Understanding that you can't have the lack and the, oh, okay, well, I know my people are there because when I feel like crap, I can rely on them. You're not planning to feel that way. You're not planning to fall apart. You're planning to feel amazing and energized. And it's a very different dynamic. So we're going to go into this as number 2. We're going to go into this in a moment. So the first one is, am I needing it? Is it that I need the support because I don't feel supported? And that is an inside job. And again, this is literally the whole point of Thrive. And that's in the description, by the way, if you guys want to check it out and have that consistent support and that safe space for this to come back to you and to learn how to do that, that's below. Number 2. That was like number 4. Number 2. All right. Just like when we're shifting the dynamic, my second question to you is, do I want this for the giving or for the receiving? Giving or receiving? Because what I noticed in, like I said, in a lot of these groups or memberships is that people go there for, okay, what can I get? Which should be logical, right? Because you're there like, well, yeah, I'm paying for this. So, of course, what is it that I'm receiving? But it's similarly as when you have a job. If you're just approaching it at, okay, well, how much money am I getting? That's going to be very unsatisfying experience for you. What are you contributing? What are you excited about? What are you a part of? What lights you up? What are you creating? How are you interacting with people? Maybe it's things that's like, I don't believe in this product. Okay, well, how are you changing and impacting your coworkers? And the interactions and the impact that you get to have on people that you're with every day. If you're just approaching this from, okay, well, what am I getting? That's really unfulfilling and that's draining. It's energetically draining. So old dynamics that are not conscious, right? It's about, hey, let me fall apart and let me vent. Or, oftentimes have you had those moments with your friends when you're just like, as they're talking, you're thinking about what you're going to say and you're not really there present with them. And other people do that to you and you don't like that because they're not there with you. And soul family and tribe, or that relationship with that soulmate, it's, I'm present with you. I see you. I'm not trying to fix you. And it's such a gift, not just to receive that. It's transformational when you receive it, but giving that and holding that and being that safe container for someone, that's mind-blowing. But that's inaccessible to us. The notion of it is inaccessible to us when we're approaching it just from, what am I getting? So that's question number 2. Do you want it because of the giving or because of the receiving? What do you have to contribute to your soul tribe? What are you there to offer? What light do you want to give to the world, to the people around you? Which brings me to number 3. Are you shining bright? And this is coming in from 2 to 3 perfectly, because we're waiting for others. We're saying, well, when I have that relationship, then I'm going to love myself. And I'm going to treat myself. And I'm going to feel seen and feel amazing. When I have that soul tribe, that's when I'm going to contribute to my community. When I have those situations, circumstances, the right people around me, that's when I'm going to be nicer and show up to those people differently. So I need the outer world to be in a particular way so that I can be my true self, like the me that I want to be. It doesn't work that way. Are you willing to go first? And the third question is, are you living the life that you want to live? Are you standing in your authenticity? This is one that I hear a lot because people are there, I don't have my tribe. And it's so frustrating. It's like, okay, well, do you talk about personal development? No. Then how will your people find you? If you're closeted and if you're afraid to speak about things that matter to you, if you're trying to adapt to the conversations from your old circles and hiding a part of you that's like lighting up your soul, that's a big part of who you are. If you're trying to play a role and you have a mask on, how will your people see you? And that's the thing. It's like when they show up, I'm going to be my true self. They're not going to show up because they're not going to recognize you. It's the willingness of, I'm me, and this is what I'm offering. And that's how your people find you. We wait for someone to show up for us, which is such hypocrisy because we're not showing up for us. And until we show up for us, we can't show up for anybody else. So are you standing tall in you? What does your authenticity look like? This is question number 3. Are you being your true self? Are you living your authenticity? Are you embodying that which you stand for? We want those leaders that are like, yeah, this is me. And I feel confident in who I am. And these are the gifts that I have to bring into the world. And some of you may be watching like, I don't know who authentic me is. And again, this is what we do in Thrive because it's soul-led life. You're unique. This is not me preaching like, hey, this is what you do, this is what you don't do. It's soul inquiries. It's questions that, first of all, like coming into a meditative state and deep state of presence. The workshops that are there guiding you towards you and taking away the parts that are not you. How do we navigate through the loudness of the mind and tune into our soul? And like I said, questions like, what we're doing, soul inquiries, every single Monday, there's like, okay, how can you embody this particular energy? Because those focus points is what gets you to be more you. That never-ending process of expansion and excitement for it. Not like, oh no, things are always moving. It's like, oh my God, things are always moving. Like, who am I today? What do I want to create? More you. And then as you do that, you find people that are on that same path as you. It's like, ooh, we get to create together. And I get to support them in their creation. And I feel supported in mine and seen and experienced. That's what you're here for. It's this beautiful dance of we want our individuality, but we also want community and feel like we're a part of something and contribute. Okay? And that's what you came here to experience. So again, if you want to come into your center and have that rootedness and centeredness in a more tangible and practical and consistent way, check out the link below, Thrive. All right, last one. Inhaling in. Exhaling out. I've already touched on this one, but this is a whole separate point that I want to emphasize. And that is the question, am I willing to go first? Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to go first? Are you willing to stand in your authenticity? Are you willing to speak the way you want to speak? Are you willing to dress the way you want to dress? Are you willing to discover you? This is a big one. We want a soul tribe. We want conscious relationships that are supporting us in our growth, that are curious about us. The reason the relationship gets stagnant, well, there are many reasons, but one of the big ones, friendships, relationship, is that you stop discovering the person. It's like, oh yeah, I know them. Oh yeah, you like this thing. And it feels kind of good. It's again that dance of the two opposites. It feels kind of good, like, oh, they know me. But also, oh, that's the box that I'm in now. And well, what if I want to try something else? Right? Let's say your friend's buying you ice cream. You're like, oh, this is your flavor that I like, that I know you like. I'm like, yeah. It's like, is there space for me to discover another flavor, or did they just get me the ice cream that I usually get? Curiosity. Are you willing to go first? And this is both within and outside of you, because that's the thing. It's like we want those things, really noticing. This is such a sneaky one. What are the things that you want to be, how you want to be seen and experienced, and what you're not giving to others? It's like, I want others, like I want conversations that are deep and fulfilling. Great. Are you initiating those conversations, or are you at the, hey, how are you? And then getting frustrated, like, oh, why are people so shallow? Why are you? Are you willing to go first? And we're waiting for the whole world to go first. We're waiting for the whole world to give to us first so that we can give it to us later. And usually we don't, because we're like, oh, okay, I got that validation. And we don't give to ourselves. But we're also not giving to others because we're waiting for the other person to say that nice thing first. We're waiting for the other person to initiate the conversation. What do you want? And are you moving towards that? So those are the 4 questions. When you get clear on this, when you bring that up to surface for it to be released, when you align your frequency, those people have to come into your life because you are already it. And it's not about getting. Like, it's, yes, you're going to get, it's a natural, it's a giving, receiving, but we're so stuck on what am I getting? We're not giving anything, and therefore we're not receiving. Okay? It's, are you willing to go first? Are you willing to stand tall in you and love you? So that as other people feel that love that you have for yourself, that resonance from that love, there's so much giving. The right people in your soul tribe will just magnetize to you. Are you taking the action steps? And what does that look like in your life? And letting me know below what landed for you, which of the 4 points of the 4 questions resonated to you the most with you, that you're like, oh yeah, that's the one I need to work on. Let me know. And again, if you want to come into you and have that support consistently, that's what Thrive is for. It's not about community. It's about you coming into the community within you and holding space consistently, because if your frequency is off, your whole life is. That's really, really important. I thank you guys so much for being here, and until next time.